Welcome to the video, everyone. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, not the best news to report, but we will get there eventually. Just to catch you up in case you missed parts 1 and 2, I am in the process of making my comeback to hard training. I was off the mat for much longer than I would have liked to have been off the mat, and I found myself in really bad jiu-jitsu shape, and I'm working my way back to where I think I should be. Another week in the books, and I will say this pre-injury, starting to feel more normal again. I talked in part 2 of this series about how my body was adjusting to being thrown back into hard training rounds and how I was struggling with cramping and soreness, and for the most part that has gotten better, at least the cramping. I think the biggest issue was just being deconditioned to train hard, and my body was just locking up on me. My timing was starting to come back too. The first few weeks I felt like I was a half second behind on everything, and I was missing techniques or opportunities for attacks or sweeps by that little margin. Now maybe I'm a quarter second off, still finding my rhythm again, but getting better at it. The biggest addition to the week for me was being able to return to a full workload, a hybrid athlete approach. What I mean by that is not just being a jiu-jitsu guy who just does jiu-jitsu to get better at jiu-jitsu, but someone who trains all aspects of their fitness to be a well-rounded athlete who happens to specialize in jiu-jitsu, someone who improves everything about their performance on purpose, not just relying on jiu-jitsu itself to get better at jiu-jitsu. In my longer than I would like it to be layoff from grappling, the only thing I was really able to do was ride the bike on the indoor trainer, and even that I struggled to find the time to do between working full-time, this channel, and more crucially and time-consumingly having a newborn baby and a toddler on top. But now the game has changed, and by changed I mean gotten back to where it was before and the way I like it. Rolling, riding the bike, running, lifting. I love doing all of these things, and they all work in service of my jiu-jitsu. I will never be a champion lifter, but that's not my goal. I lift to be strong in jiu-jitsu and to improve my athleticism. I will never be the world's fastest bike rider, but that is not my goal. The bike helps me build my baseline cardio. I will never run a 4-minute mile, but that's not my goal either. I run because I like it and because it helps me with my endurance, and it helps me roll those extra rounds that without all of this outside work on my cardio, I might not be able to do. I think, at least for me, this is not medical advice and all that disclaimer, but people who specialize in just one thing are doing themselves a disservice. I'm not talking to the people who train jiu-jitsu because it's their hobby and that's how they get their exercise. I'm talking to the people who take it maybe more seriously than that. Someone like myself. Even if you're not a pro competitor, even if you're not competing at ADCC, the hybrid athlete approach is the way to go. If you enjoy training and you want to make the most of it, then you need to put in the extra work off the mat. I'm lucky in that I enjoy that work and doing those things. I can see my fitness improving every time I roll. It's taking longer and longer in training sessions for me to feel like I'm running out of gas, and I feel like my conditioning and my endurance and my timing and my technique, they're all coming back, and that makes me feel better on the whole. I feel better and I'm feeling like me again, or I should say I was. I had an injury the other day, and at the time of this recording, I'm still waiting on MRI results. This clip isn't really great and you can't see what's happening, but I have it, so have a look. Basically, I was trying to attack with a calf slicer. I had my shin across the back of his knee, and as I pulled his hips hard towards me and I pushed hard forward into the back of his knee, my knee popped really loud and really painfully. Fortunately, after a few days, I was able to get weight on it again, and I can walk pretty well, but it hurts to do that. The doc thinks my ACL is okay, which is good news, but I'm waiting on MRI results to confirm what he suspects, a torn meniscus. So right now, I'm in a bit of a holding pattern. I definitely can't train because walking hurts, let alone doing anything else. I'm recording this on a Sunday, and I'm hoping to have test results back by Wednesday. So the title of the next training video will either be Crisis Averted, Back on the Mat, or it will be a yet to be determined title telling you how badly I'm hurt and or how long my next layoff will be. I'm hoping for the first option there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments if you've had experience with meniscus tears and what your experience was like. If you have never torn a ligament in your knee, which I hope is the case for most of you, instead of commenting, why not hit that like button and that subscribe button? That way you can stay up to date on the channel and find out next week what happened. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.